Hey there. My name's Eric. I'm an UC writer from Quebec, and I have a public service announcement about the coil shock on the Extreme. Don't get it. There's a fundamental problem with the coil shock, and I'll explain to you why. But if you're ordering or have ordered this wheel, I highly recommend you get the air shock version. And if you want a coil version, wait for the community to come up with better solutions, because the stock coil shock is hot trash. And I will tell you why. Basically, my son and I got the wheel a couple of days ago, had it shipped by air. Thank you to the guys at Ride One in Toronto. Super happy with the how quick everything was done. The wheel got here, everything's great. 900-pound shock was pre-installed on the wheel. That's the one that I wanted because my son is 13 years old and he's light, 135 pounds, but he's always jumping, hopping, and doing drops and stuff like that. So took the wheel out, and he was bottoming out all the time. Couldn't figure it out. I set up the little indicators down here, and they were stopping halfway, so we couldn't figure it out. After a little bit of work, I just figured it out. Here's the bottom line. The 900-pound stock does not have enough air between the gaps here. It's the wrong spring. There's not enough air to accommodate for the stroke. The stroke spec for this particular shock, from what I hear, is supposed to be 51 millimeters. Well, guess what? If I measure this out, my digital caliper, the battery's dead, so this is a little over 5. So what do we got? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. When I measured it earlier with the digital one, it was 32. So 32 versus 51, that's 40% missing. So basically, when you put this 900-pound shock on, which is probably what most people want because that's the right one for an adult male doing shenanigans, you're losing 40% of your travel. And then if you apply any preload to it to squish it down a little bit so that it doesn't go gling, 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 gling when you're moving around, what do you get? 30, 29. You bought a wheel that has 130 millimeters of travel, and then you're giving it up to adjust the suspension. This is the wrong spring. This should not come with the wheel. This is the 750. Now you can already see the 750 has a lot more air, and I can confirm to you very, very easily. Take a quick look here. Each gap has 10, 12. So the overall air that you have in here is close to 60. So what I did is I put the smaller coil in, I put it in the wheel, I took it outside with my big butt. I'm 220. And I reset the rings on the wheel, and this is what I got. And what a surprise, no major clonking. So what was this clonking? Very simple. The individual sections of this coil smashing into each other and transmitting the full force onto this rod, which is now bent. Chooch talked about this rod. He's right, it's weak. And with the 900-pound shock, when you get to the middle of the travel, you get to that middle stroke, and then all of these sections, they smash into each other, and then it's like you have no suspension, and you get a huge clonk, and this pin takes the brunt of it. Probably also the other pin that's at the bottom, but that looks like it might actually be a little bit more solidified and encased in something that's going to maybe stop it from moving around. But voila. So do yourself a favor, order the air shock version, wait for the community to come out with better options. The coil version of the Extreme is one to avoid, in my opinion. And that's that. The guys at Ride One are flying in an air shock for me, and what I'm suggesting you do is exactly what I'm going to do. Air shock and wait for a better option. So, thank you. Enjoy.